And we should be back. We should be back. We should be back. 15 seconds. Still has that issue. Alright, 30 seconds. And why am I confirming my time again? Anyways. Hello everybody, my name is the Hooded Man, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. About to say 2. Because last video it said that. Welcome back to the Ultra Deluxe. What time is it? It's like 8. 35. Say like 6. Wait, it wasn't 7. Hang on. Before we get started, can I say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take the step seriously. They just leave the clock set to 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Oh, cool. It was actually the wrong time. And I can't set it again! Damn it! You can't just... Well, it's the Stanley Parable 2, but it's actually not 2. So, it's actually the Ultra Deluxe. But anyway. Oh my god, it's wild! Wild! What? Oh no, I forgot my Discord! Oh no! I haven't been on my Discord! I bet people have been messaging me on Discord. Damn. Hold on, give me just a minute. I was busy trying to do stuff, and alright, so we're playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I'm trying to boot up Discord right now, so give me just a second, and then we'll actually start, I promise. And it's not the Stanley Parable 2, it's actually called Ultra Deluxe. You've missed a lot. If you have not seen the first part, watch the first part. There's a lot going on there. I know some of the stuff is boring because the guy talks, but it's actually super funny. You should definitely watch the first part. It actually got really serious too, close, like around the middle or the end. Of course, people have been messaging me on. It's spelled good. Spelled good. Bonjour. Oh god. Everybody's here. I got my PC upgraded again. Again! What are you saying? Better performance and more fans! That's even better! That's great! You'll probably be able to stay in the game longer. I'm just messing. Anyway. This is I'll be honest with you, this is my 3rd stream today. This is my 3rd stream today. I'm not even joking. I'm literally probably gonna go into the kitchen and make me popcorn right now. I'm probably gonna do it too. I'll probably do it right now. But yeah. No, if you don't got anything better to do, just give me like a minute or two. I'm gonna go make me some popcorn. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna play this game, And this is gonna be the second part. Loads faster, and I can enhance the I'm back, by the way. I can enhance the graphics. I just need a good 27-inch monitor. Well, monitors don't really cost that much, depending on what you're trying to get. I got my secondhand monitor, which what I'm looking at right now. It was about 200 to 300. So if you want a cheap monitor, I'd probably get one of those for now, and then save up for a better monitor, because the other monitor that I had was like 500 or 400, which is my main monitor where I play my games, and it looks fantastic. The monitor that I'm looking at right now, it's not as great, but it's pretty decent. Also, I have sounds. I have sound effects now. So you can stay in the streams, or my streams, and then you can use points to make sounds. You'll notice it's like bottom sub. It's like should be like a circle with points. You click on it, and then there's like 5 things that you can use. There's also bits, but that costs money for bits and stuff like that. Not bad. I just need a monitor that will help with the frame so that I can enhance the picture quality.
Bruh.
Which is actually good. See? Bruh. Bruh. So stuff like that I got. Alright, we're gonna begin. It's been like 7 minutes already, and I haven't showed any sort of gameplay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Here, go ahead and listen to that.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month.
Yeah, I noticed that you played Crisis.
And although others
it's
might
a
have
great
considered
game.
it soul
I'm not
Stanley
a fan of the
relished
first game.
every moment
I actually
that the orders
played a
he
ton
made,
of the second game.
though he had been made exactly
The
for this
third
job.
game I played,
And Stanley was happy.
but I like the second game better.
And then one day, something very peculiar
The story was
happened.
really messed up.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had
played
showed
all the
up
way
to
through
give
the
him
second game.
instructions,
It wasn't
call a
boring.
meeting, or even say
just-
hi.
okay.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
And welcome back. Nice. Can I do... camera sensitivity, field of view... maybe more? Cause I can this. Oh, jeez. Weird. Why is my mouse showing? Oh, there we go. That was really weird. Yeah, that should be good. No, I'm just nagging on popcorn.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh no!
What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I can't find them. But here's my bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Username access. Weird. Why is this here? Can I like go on this? It's weird. Yeah, everyone's gone. But I have a bucket. I have a bucket though. That's cool, right? I like the bucket. The bucket's awesome. I had it. Yeah, for just a second. There we go. Aww. Thought I could.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'll go on my left. Oh. Oh, it's great. Mission stats. So, somewhere both red and blue, a large room, lots of boxes. Red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Well, I went downstairs. No, I'll go upstairs. No. Oh, this is locked now. Oh no, that's not good. Now I can't go back to the elevator. That's not fun. Wait, what was that? To be rich is a crime. To commit crimes isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. I don't think you know how it works. I don't need a life lesson.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again...
You dick. But the executive bathroom belongs to me now. Get me out! Come on, Bucket. We're gonna escape. We're gonna escape and no one's gonna harm us ever again. This is closed, right? Yep. Yep. It's closed. I'll do one of the innings with the bucket. No, just give me all your money, no one gets hurt. Give me all your wolves. Oh, no one gets hurt. See? Everything is fine. Everything is okay. This door has opened. Let's go. You are now leaving. Yeah. How big this place is? 755. It's the same office. 756. It's the same office. We climb more of the stairs. 757. It's the same office. This is one of the other endings. 158. Same office. 432. Did you not see it? Here. We'll do it one more time so you can get it. Alright. 759. 432. Oh. This basically tells you that there's different Stanleys in different areas. And there's the escape pod launch bay. Or are you ready to escape? It's a little bit different. Oh. Oh my. Telling it to shush. Oh! No! Wait, hold on a second! Oh my god! Oh my god, are you serious? You could have gone with the bucket! No! That's so sad! This game's a dick to me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my god. That's so new, man. Like, if you gone to the, The bucket's gone! What?! No way! So it doesn't come back. So if you put the bucket down, it goes away. That's so messed up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh god, there's a vent here too.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so there's a vent over here, which is interesting. Let's go. Oh my. What's this? What's that? Oh, I can crouch! Oh, okay, cool. Looks like a knight. That was a big drop, though.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun was so far off the beaten path.
Narrator.
You didn't think I was actually just a recorder,
Oh,
did you?
thank God.
What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you.
Not
Life
really.
being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Not really. Okay. Wow, you are a dick.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Replacement bucket. Oh my God, it's back. Let's keep going.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I need to go to the...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
No.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you... What? Really?
Yeah, I need to
I
go
was
over
in the
here.
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
No.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm... And there
Last
it
one.
is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Hunting endings.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
What if I stay in this room? What if I go back? Alright, I'm gonna listen to him.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop.
I wanted to stop.
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
What are we looking for?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
I actually feel happy.
Where did I fall? No? Sure? How beautiful this is, huh? You like this? This is great, right? This is the happy room. This is the happy room. Okay. Look how happy this is. Look at all the happy. Look at that. Look at that. That's turning into a boss. Look at that. It's turning into an eyeball. Boss time! Let's go! I'm ready for the boss. That'd be hilarious. One of the endings, you gotta fight a boss. Alright.
No, wait. Where are you going?
What's that? Oh, it's a picture. Oh, nothing.
Right. Where were we?
Got extra dialogue. Alright, I'm gonna go back in here now.
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Oh no, we're going back.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
It has new light show. This wasn't in the original game. This is new. Oh god, that's real pink. Alright. Let's go back.
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Alright.
Are you... You are going to stay here, aren't you?
Maybe I won't. Let me go again! Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm back in here now. You better say something.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
Alright, I'm going back then. Better start talking. Yes. Oh, no, he's not saying anything. You better start saying something. Ooh, it's blue and green now. But it has yellow. Yellow and orange. I'm going. See ya, bye. Yes, the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Okay, I'll go back down the stairs. I'll go back. Yes, this room again. Oh, but you're not saying anything. I'm going back now. Oh, man. That's not good, is it? Oh, no. Oh, I'm going all the way up.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I thought about it!
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Okay, I'm going back. Well, I'm a lot slower, though.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Alright, I stopped moving. The only way you get to stop me is if you start talking again. Oh, I'm starting to move again.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Alright, you better start talking then. You're not talking. I start moving. Here we go.
No. No, what do you do? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Well, man, this is tantalizing. Ooga!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Oh man, I'm gonna have that urge again. Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
No, perhaps not.
Yeah. I can't run because I busted my legs.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Okay. I made my choice.
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Both.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you should do things. Alright. This is really hard for me. You know? Just walking back and forth until one of us, you know. Maybe you should open that door that's up there. That'll probably stop me. I guess not. Whee!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Well, we're going back. I can't even see my feet. Game lied to me. Oh, the balloons are gone. That's actually kind of scary. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. This is new.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Oh.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh!
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, back to this. Wow. Okay. Didn't think I'd come back here so soon. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Oh my god. Looks like there's an entirely new section. That's interesting. This is locked. Interesting. Alright, we're going downstairs then.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said
God.
6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Oh
We
god,
were
I
so
hate this.
innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
God, I hate that. I hate all of that. This is what I hate. 7. I got 7. I just took it. I got 7. That was probably a mistake.
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
I'm still collecting them.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
It was the boss's office, I think.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
And yet, I have 9 now.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. The next one was under the stairs. I have 10 of them now. Giant apple. There's a door here. God. Oh.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy. Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
did not like that sound. Okay, yeah, this is...
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
But now we have 12. Why do we have 12? TV. You are in the present. The past.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen.
Oh my
Isn't
God.
there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
My God. Are you serious right now? This is so dumb. Come on.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
My God. Something's gonna be dumb. Something's gonna mess up a lot right now.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
My God, not again!
Yes, I love that video.
Stop. This is the past. Let's look towards the future. Oh my God.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
It was literally going down the stairs. I have 15 now. Stop giving me these.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad
I'm
we
still
resisted
collecting
the
them.
temptation. Next one.
Somebody hit the nut button. Wild! Wild, hit the nut button! Wild! We have a nut button! Like you did with the bruh. Hit the nut button again. Do it. Do it.
Nut.
Thank God. Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. Wait. What about over here? It doesn't exist.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
God.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stan.
Bruh.
I want to keep going.
That scared me, actually. This room is scary. I need to leave. Run for the exit! Oh. 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 This is the room. This is the room that
Look,
started.
it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Please stop. Can't even jump. Crouch, though. You know, I didn't even go in here before, so... Weird. This game's messing with my mind.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Oh my god. 427.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Oh.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction.
Oh my
But
god.
I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Oh
I did
no!
enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh my god. This is the last one?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh my god. Is this the last one? Oh my god.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh no, not the panda again. Oh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Something's telling me it might be you. It's telling me it might be you.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, this is the
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
and this is the freedom ending.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
What happens if you stay? guess there's nothing.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. But it doesn't end. It never ends.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Got it.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Oh. Okay. Okay, that was quick. Than last time.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Death? Finally.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. Time to go. Hello. Ah, the suspense! Ah! The sequel is now paused. Yes, because it is paused. Because I gotta throw something away and wash my hands. I'll be right back. Who's your daddy? Yes, who is your daddy? Daddy. Alright, and we're back with the next episode. What will Stanley happen? What's gonna happen to him?
As the machine whirred into motion,
as
and
you can
Stanley
see,
was inched closer and
bam,
closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Yeah.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss,
Oh, no.
like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Oh no.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this
Oh, no.
violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Oh no.
Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no. Oh no!
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Ah!
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
When, like, the entire game gives you, like... This is the start. This was the first office you go into, the second office you go into. Then you would go, and then you would choose the 2 doors. The offices, the numbers, button sounds. Office computers. This is the credits. This is the boss's office.
Being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy.
They're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing. Does that sound plausible to you?
To end this injustice forever, Stanley stood on the roof. Then he pushed the number 8.
Not used in the final game.
Stanley...
Underground. Early version of the portion of the game. It's crazy, isn't it? Look at this. Freedom ending. Here's all the other stuff. This is Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represented the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon it and change it again shortly before launch. Early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut with the merge of another. I wonder what that was. Zending is like bending, right? Player would pull the lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Fortunately, very few players realized that that was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Actually, that's totally new. We ran 4 major trailers over the course of the game development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing users that he is repairing a new version of the Stanley Parable. This is a new room. And this was the option. The apartment timer. Cargo lift. There was a lot of stuff cut from the original game. Money! The lounge. Bring on the money! Warzone. Alien base. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield against aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted. Sorry, it was making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Should have went with it. It would have been hilarious. Should have gave us a little dinky gun, and I would have laughed. That's the maintenance room, and that's the start. Because every shooter is practical. Think guy, subject gay. Are you gay? Narrator emails. After the second trailer, we sent out people asking people to email the narrator for questions. I appreciate the previous Stanley game as a work of art. Wow. Let's say I have infinite quests. How many endings? If the Stanley Parallel is really gonna let me go shopping, I hope it will have a fine selection of desert boots. How do you make a JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? What is the difference between a duck? What? What are these questions? How is the game going? I hope it's a good or better than the first game from a cool man. What? Are you a rock? Maybe. I don't know. Next question. Next. Okay. Could you tell me what the significance of the number 11128000 is? What is this strange number? That is. Well, the thing I want to know is what would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? For instance, on a scale of what? How surreal this game be? Are you born with a magnificent voice, or did you bargain with the magician? Okay. Congratulations, congratulations, wow, congratulations, congratulations. Wow, there's a lot of congratulations. What is this? Love the game, operative voice. I wanted to tell you I like the Stanley Parable as much as I liked seeing humorously small badger in swim's trunks. I am not reading all that. You can pause it and you can read it yourself. Dead strong, bad. How do you type with boxing gloves on? I am not reading any more of these. I've already lost a couple of brain cells. These are some of the offices. Actually, they're in glasses. Oh no, this is Stanley's office. Oh, interesting. Look, this is like the finalized one. That was what it was before. That was like, I think, part... Actually, he didn't even have two computers. I was gonna say it was actually from the actual game, but this is the one that actually looks like his office. Game design mock-up. One of the desks from the early versions of the game. Do it again. I did it! I touched it! It's fine! And here it is.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Don't let time choose it for you! Oh no! It's at the end! Oh no! It's at the end! Oh!
All of his co-workers were gone.
All of
What
his
could it
co-workers
mean?
were
Stanley
gone.
decided to go to the meeting room.
I
Perhaps
went
he had
to
simply
the
missed a
meeting
memo.
room. Clicky. Clicky. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
No matter how hard Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
5 years ago.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Nothing but me?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
I've been neglecting.
Someone you've forgotten about.
I've forgotten
Please,
about?
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Oh.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. Yeah. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Ah, welcome back.
Oh, snap.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. I will comply.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Yeah. Alright, let's go. All the way
Almost
back.
there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Yeah.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Sure.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do?
What is the answer?
What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
I really want to go through that
to.
door. Oh god, he's doing it!
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny?
Yes.
You just had to see?
Yes.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right to the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's locked entirely. Wow.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115. Okay.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yes.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I can't. Just open the door.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
That's so sad. Here we go. Welcome, Stanley. To heaven! To heaven! Buttons, yes. Buttons, buttons, buttons. Sonic. That's right. Get the game. It's not a special button that you gotta press. It's just endless amounts of buttons that you can press. We need the bucket. Try something else. Let me think. I could escape with the bucket.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket is pretty much the new stuff in this game. Like, without the bucket, like, half of the endings are, like, as appealing.
The
Or usually
elevator
those
raced
normal
downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I was looking for 427.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket. The bucket is his friend.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
The freedom ending with the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes! Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
What?
No. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh my god, so it turns into a not escaping. It turns into, oh no!
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
But then
The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I forgot how to do the adventure line.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
Escape!
Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
The bucket.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Let's go, bucket. To death!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Just the bucket, right?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It
Wait.
was a glorious bucket to behold.
Wait, where did my bucket go? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty with it. Empty within a cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full of an enrichment substanted. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you to the world? Will you accept with an open mind that may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? What the hell? Oh.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
My God. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from the exposure to this many buckets at once. I don't know if Allie is still in, but a bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for the attempt. What the hell? Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which is in the medieval era, was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control over it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control the bucket. The stress bucket. And analogy, worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reinsurance. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. Vulnerability, size, strength of the bucket, coping strategies equals holes. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. What the hell? While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long this cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical use of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasure. What the hell? That's a little bit much, don't you think?
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However, clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is not yet that it is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh, oh shit. And I grabbed it.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
What?
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die.
Let Stanley die!
The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Stanley dies and the bucket lives. Just kidding.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay. Alright. Wait, he isn't talking. My door didn't close.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there, just a kind of, tingle. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
But then I stared at this.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Take your time.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Are you sure?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Oh,
and
no.
this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
Ooh, hey, there's a
Okay,
paper right there.
from the top.
Oh. Kinda wish I had a freaking camera.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, the bucket's gone too. That's interesting.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere or...
No.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
Sure?
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay. Nope. This might be it.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh! Alright. Here we are again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Oh, there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
All right. No, excuse me, that was very rude.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
All right.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
Oh!
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yeah!
Congratulations!
Come on!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Trademarked. It's trademarked. They put TM for trademark. Oh.
No, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okie dokie. Okay. Right.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny.
Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Hey, Payday 2! I did not expect that. In the first game, it didn't show that.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Okay.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice fern. Okay, I'm going now.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
I don't think it knows what it's doing. Oh, God.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh, now it's the Stanley Parable Adventure line. Okay. Not two. Because, look, it was supposed to go in there. But the line is gone.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
This is the Stanley Parable Adventure line.
Daring, mysterious.
It's not even two.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Alright, yeah, it went up.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
That's what I'm doing.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere. which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Okay.
And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
No, we should probably go left. We should probably go left.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
Maybe.
Will something happen?
No.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
That was even more confusing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
8. Okay, so let's see. I gotta think about this.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
There's the adventure line.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
It's me, your bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley? Can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. For us to go home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
To ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
There we go, got it. Ooh, I can't even go on the chair anymore. I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
This is weird. To relive this same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Go home to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
What?
Hear what the bucket has to say. Do
Wait a
anything
minute.
it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
These candles are really authentic.
If I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Oh no! Stanley, what did you do? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You didn't. You didn't. Not with the bucket. You didn't. You didn't do it.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley. Oh. Okay.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
We're staying here until all the dialogue is done. Whoa, talk to us.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
This is mine now.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Yeah. Is that it? No more dialogue?
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Wait, hold on just a second. No, we need to go over here.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Nope. Lost cat. There is a war. Gene.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down, it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
What? What the hell? Why?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I literally just lost my shit there. That door's open.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
That was really weird. Okay, guess the only thing that I haven't done...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I didn't have the bucket with me with this elevator.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was
Taking
the
a
bucket
really long
guiding
time.
him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Down. Jesus, okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Ooh. Wow. So, what happens if you jump down
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room,
so that's
and
a
from
new
then
ending
on,
that
he
I've
would never
seen.
be alone ever again.
Unless if that was in the original game, I've never gotten it. Let me try going there.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
It'll
left.
be the last thing I do, and then I'll make a third part to see if I missed anything.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Alright, let me try jumping off again. Out the buggy.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. Railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Wow. Okay.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Alright.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle
One more
embrace.
thing to do.
Protective, yet delicate. Assertive, yet... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I never thought that there was a little thing about it. Actually, I don't think I've ever found that little bug.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
God.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Birds. Freaking birds. Here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I saw on the trailer that this thing came off. Maybe I need the bucket.
Stanley's bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Hmm. Well, that's all the time I got. Alright, so thank you everybody so much for watching. If you haven't followed me here on Twitch, please do so. I would definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to also follow me on Twitter. That's also in the About section along with my YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, check in the description below. Like, comment, say something. Let me know what kind of games you want me to see. Let me know if I missed anything in this game. It'll definitely help. Thank you, Wild, for joining me. I saw you. I see you. I saw you. And don't forget to also check out the clips that I've done on Twitch. Just go to sort by all time. You'll check out all those stuff on there. They're all short. So if you got time, go ahead and watch those. And that's all the time I got. Tomorrow, probably maybe Iron Lung. So it's gonna be a scary game tomorrow. And then after that, maybe some Lego Star Wars. Who knows? Well, that's all the time I got. I'm the Hooded Man. I'll see you all in the next interdimensional stream. Bye bye.